Welcome to a brew day video. This is a tried and tested recipe I've done before, my St. David's IPA, where St. David's is about 20 days away. This video or this brew day isn't necessarily about the beer for me. It's about seeing how everything has worked out here in the brewery. Initially, I wanted to brew a lager and to use these two fermenters, conical fermenters by Grainfather, hooked up to the chiller underneath. Unfortunately, I'm still in discussions with Grainfather in relation to the parts I need for these, such as the controllers and a valve for one of them, etc. I'm hoping that's gonna work out. And yeah, big shout out to Grainfather as well, in anticipation, fingers crossed. So I'm going to be doing one big batch into my SF50. So part of the test is obviously moving these out of the way, bringing that one back in. How easy is that to do? Where can I store these, etc, etc, etc. So let's get straight into it and let's get in some B-roll. So my first general observation with just filling up the Grainfather G40 up to its mash volume, which is 26 litres for this one. The sight glass is quite awkward for me to read with having to kind of look around from underneath the sink. So I'm not sure if I can maybe turn the body of the sight glass slightly. That's something which I'll experiment on after the brew, but it looks doable, just to undo the nut on the top and the bottom and maybe just rotate it a little bit. Obviously not going to try it now. We now have the fermenter here ready and everything else ready to go. So I'll quickly run through the recipe, which is also in the description box below as usual in all my recipe videos. We're going to go for 6 kilos of Maris Otter, a kilo of Caragold, 250 grams of rolled oats. I don't have rolled oats, I'm going to chuck some porridge oats in there. And 100 grams of Cara Munich 2, sorry, I haven't got my bins on, Cara Munich 2, all of which are here. I'm going to chuck some just normal Cara peels in as well, that's kicking around. And what else was there? Hops wise, we are going with the staple Centennial for beginnings, paired with Strata, again through beginnings through to dry hop. And as part of one of the last dry hop, I'm going to chuck in what I've got left of Galaxy and Mosaic. Good opportunity to use them up, about 20 or 30 grams of each. This beer is going to be about 2.5, 2.8 grams a litre, so it's not too bad. And we're going to be fermenting with US-05, as you'd probably expect. So we've weighed out the grains. Our mash temperature is 68.5. I've set it for 70, but then we're going to mash at 67 degrees. I just added my water additions. We can probably start adding the grain now. Absolutely love the smell of Maris Otter. Let me know what you think about the camera angles so far in the video. Are they useful, useless? It'd be really good to know. I feel like I've got a lot more room in here, if that makes sense. The old setup, there was a bench to one side, similar to what this one is now, but because I'm right-handed, it just seems a little bit more accessible. Haven't hit my head once so far, but there's plenty of time. Brew day is young enough. Right, let's drop this target temperature back down to 67 so we can hold this temperature at that. And we might as well start weighing out the hops. Just gone into the house to pick these weighing scales up. Ellen's been using them to bake scones and Welsh cakes. Look at the state of that. That was in the cupboard. Honest to God, man. It's never ending. Oh, thank you. Lovely, thank you. Beautiful. Coffee delivery. What a wife. Oh, hot lava java. Sounds so weird. Lava java. But that'll do. Okay, so there we have it. Beautiful Americano. And we've got 25 grams of Centennial and Strata. And then we have a hop stand at about 77 degrees for 20 minutes. That is 60 grams of Centennial and 60 grams of Strata. Then 25 grams of Strata for the dry hop for 3 days. About 30 grams of Galaxy and 25 grams or so of Mosaic as well. Just get rid of these bad boys and that. So that is the hop sorted. Well, 43 minutes left. 42. Might as well take the dog out. So the sparge has just finished. I've got 15 litres in the sparge hasn't finished. It's been a while. The mash has just finished. I've got 15 litres in the sparge tank, which is nearly up to temperature. I need to add another 10 litres into there for the whole sparge. So let's turn this pump off and then we'll lift this up to its draining position, which again, it's first time. First impressions of how handy it is to have a sink. I don't know how I survived without it, I've got to be honest. I don't know how I survived so long without a sink. It's an absolute game changer. Okay. So I have no idea how much of that you just saw, but basically I lifted up this inner basket. The sparge attachment doobie thing was in the way, so I had to hold it up with one arm, move the 15 litres of sparge water away, get this into position, and now I can bring this back in. Whew. What I didn't want to do is to drop this back into the wort because the bottom plate may come up and loads of grain can slip through. Great fun. But that's worked out okay. So let's get going with the sparge. Nice and steady. Now I know this is only covering a portion of the grain. What I can do is lift it up periodically and just spin it around. No dramas. No drama llama. Now I'm pretty sure from that angle you can see we're starting to get quite a bit of steam now. Windows steaming up, as you can see. Yeah, steaming up. So I'll put the fan on now, just as a bit of a sound check. Hopefully it's okay with this new mic. And away we go. Immediately I can see the steam rushing into the bottom part, and it doesn't seem to even be contacting the ceiling. I can feel a draft coming over on my baldy head from the massive hole in the back of the back corner there. And give it 5 minutes, I reckon the condensation would have gone, even though this is coming up to temperature as well. And there you have it. Most, if not all, of the condensation on the window is gone. We're running at 86.5 degrees. Still sparging. Yeah, really impressed with the fan. Cannot fault it. Next test will be to see how it gets on at a rolling boil. Look at that. Yes, come on. So as the sparge is nearing completion, I've put some Starsan in here, and this new batch of Starsan, and I could, if I wanted to, just drain it straight out, but I'd much prefer to put it back into this bucket. Again, this is just trying to be more convenient, trying to work smarter, not harder. Don't have to be too precious with all the drips coming out. Absolutely love it. So much easier. So I'll leave that valve open for a little bit, just let all the last drips out. Hopefully I'll remember to close it before I fill it with wort. We've all been there. We've all been there. Even you pros, you've been there too. We're at 96 degrees now, just holding temperature whilst we're finishing off the sparge. Little tiny bit of condensation on the window. It's important to note I do have the door still closed. If I'd open it, then this would change tone and get rid of a lot more air, because that's getting rid of more air than is being allowed in on the other side of the room. So if I open this door, you can just see those louvers opening up more freely. So once we get to the boil going, I think I'll keep this door open a little bit. So we've given this plenty of time now to drain out. So I'm just going to pop this up onto the sink there. Normally I launch it outside, but the chickens are on the loose at the minute, and they'll be jumping into this when it's too hot. So I'd much rather take a scoop out for them and let it cool that way. And any last drips will just, as you can see, go straight into the sink. Give this a good stir now. Oh, it's looking good. This is at enough of a rolling boil for my liking for now. I've cracked the door open a little bit just to control the level of steam in here, and I think it's pretty good. So let's go in with the 60-minute hop edition. In they go. And there's no more hop drops until the absolute flame out edition at 77 degrees at chill down. Oh, that smells lovely. So I'm gonna have a tidy up, and then we'll see you at the next hop edition. So the boil has now finished. Just knock the heat off that. Steam wise, it's not too bad in here, considering it's absolutely freezing outside. It's a nice clear day, but it is freezing. Fan's doing well, a lot of condensation on it, which is then dripping down the wall into the drain. No issues there. So yeah, overall, I'm quite happy how this has turned out. So I'll hook up the chiller now and see how all of this works, and I'll do my best to recycle or to use some of the hot water surplus from the counterflow chiller. Okay, this is flowing fine now. Put this back in. Let this run for a couple of minutes just to sterilise inside here with the very hot water, which is currently 96 degrees. Close the valve on the bottom of the fermenter whilst I remember. So I'll be back once we're down to 77 degrees for the final hop drop. And my God, does this smell good. Yeah, boy. clearing up nicely. So we've captured some boiling hot water to clean our bits and pieces, which I've never been able to do before. This is now dropped to 75 degrees, so I'm still recirculating through the chiller at the minute, which will give that a pause. And then we can go in with these hops. That's 60 grams of each. And I'll leave these stand for 20 minutes. Give it a good stir. Oh, looks like Shrek's bathtub. There we go. 20 minutes. We'll be back for the final transfer. Must get the yeast out of the fridge. So this bad boy's been going for 20 minutes now. It's just chilled down to 69 degrees. The counterflow chiller is currently running at 68. So there's only 1 degree temperature loss in that whole system. So we're going to dial this in. So powering the counterflow chiller at the back there with the valve. And once we get this at about 20 to 25 degrees, then we can start the transfer. And I've already closed the valves, definitely. Definitely. Okay, so we're at 22 degrees. I think I'll increase that. So by either increasing the speed of the outlet from the pump here and slowing down the water inlet to the chiller, you should be able to increase the temperature from the watermeter. But the groundwater here is very cold this time of year. Okay, 23 degrees. I'm going to run with that. Ooh. There we have it. We're in. Because I don't trust that the bend on there, I think it'd be prudent to clamp it to the side there, just in case. There we go, that's better. And that's it. That's a whole lot transferred over. Lovely looking hop cone there. And it's all gone swimmingly into this fermenter. Managed to spin it a little bit because this cable here didn't quite reach the extension lead for the heat belt, but it'd be okay for a couple of days. And now the proper clean down, see how we get on with that. So before we get ahead on the clean, let's just quickly pitch the yeast and in with a second. I've managed to get some some spent hops lodged in my eye from cleaning this out. God, what on earth is that going to lead to? Hop eye. There we have it, job done. Right, let's take this out. And already I feel that this entire cleanup is just so much easier and more, just less hassle. It's convenience. That's exactly the reason why I wanted to do this, is to keep everything in here so I don't have to dick about. The hose pipes in the garden, the drain equally. Absolute game changer. So that's it, cleanup is done, apart from letting this do its thing for about another 20 minutes with the cleaning solution in there. Once that's done, I can drain it straight out the bottom tap, give it a quick rinse with Star San, run it through the counterflow chiller, and put the Star San back in the bucket for reuse another day. So I've thoroughly enjoyed my first brew day in this setup. It's so much better than it was before, as I expected, and the reasons for introducing all this, all these different elements to it. The soakaway system, or the ground drain, whatever you want to call it, has worked brilliantly, hasn't missed a beat. I spilt water on the bit where there's no drain accidentally, but you know, hey ho, we're all learning. yeah, fan has worked great. Yes, it struggled a couple of times, but it is because it's so cold outside and I haven't got any insulation up there yet, which will be on its way soon. But like I said in another video, a sheet to fit here is about 60 quid, so I'm waiting for something to come up. So the next brew day is going to be a Pilsner, where I'm going to be using the controller with the Grainfather conicals and the glycol chiller as well. I want to do a bit of a profile, fermentation profile for it, which is one that I quite like doing, which is bumping it up 1 degree every day. But more on that when we get to it. So what would I change in all of this setup? Absolutely nothing. I genuinely don't think I'd change anything. What was a faff? Maybe have all the fermenters here, but that's making the shed bigger or longer down that. No, it just wouldn't work. But I've cleaned everything in here. Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. Chuff to beans. Iechyd.